Um, Hello.
Oh,
Welcome back.
hello. We're back.
Um, I was gonna start off with a complaint, and also because I'm so weird and strict on our time limits, I'm gonna try to not keep us going for 15 minutes before the episode, but we're gonna see how I
Okay.
go. Okay, so here's my complaint, and this is trigger warning for boomers. I don't know if boomers are listening to us. If you aren't, please stop because I'm sick
Honestly,
of
if
you.
you're a boomer who's listening to us, please let us know.
I would be curious. Um,
Oh, but our demographics are mostly people who are not boomers,
Women
but those are
and our
mostly the
age.
people on Spotify.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I can check the where
Mhm.
people are seeing us from. There are some interesting ones and we have some interesting countries.
Yes. I did see that. Like Russia,
Shout
there's
out.
no way.
I'm
But
gonna do Russia came out of nowhere. I'm gonna shout out to the people who listen to these. Our audience are people who are from the United States, France, the UK, Australia, and Russia. So really shout out to anyone who's listening. And Podcast Addict is the number one.
yes.
Number one. And I still don't know what that
I
is.
don't know. It has to just be a non-US thing. That unless I'm just
Yeah.
ignorant and I'm like, well, if I don't know about it, it can't be American.
But I haven't heard of it. I've never heard of that before this.
Oh,
So
okay. So here's my boomer story,
anyway,
and I was really brave.
please.
So took Lily to the vet. And the thing
Yes.
about Lily is she's anxious at all times of her life. So
Mhm.
the vet, even worse. So I took her in and they're like, oh, do you have Lily? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, all right, pull her over to a scale. There's this older couple nearby. I thought they were really nice at first. I put Lily on the scale and they're like, oh, is she nervous? And I'm like, yeah, just a little nervous. Lily approaches them unexpectedly. And I was like, oh, okay. And then she stops and she's sitting there. And so the lady's like talking to me and she's like, we have a nervous dog too. Like, here's like, we use like a thing. And I'm like, these are going great. Lily can't control when she poops when she's nervous. So poop fell out of her butt as this lady's talking to her and wanting to pet her. I'm used to it. I had a bag ready, pulled it out, picked up the poop,
Sure.
went and sat down.
Yeah.
It left a little smudging on the ground. Okay. No big deal.
Mhm.
It's a vet. So I sit
Mhm.
down. I don't notice at first. And she said, oh, hey, do you want to get a paper towel to wipe it up? Madam, do you see that I'm dealing with this dog who is like, I was like, yeah, it's not, I'll tell them. Like, it's not a big deal. And she's like, okay. Hey, we need a paper towel over here. And started shouting to them. They're ignoring her because it's busy. And
Right.
I'm just like, it's fine. Like, I'm just like, oh my God, why are you doing this? So she gets up and goes to the counter and she's like, we need a paper towel for over there. And they're like, hey, they said, it's not a big deal. We'll clean it up. Happens all the time. And I'm like, it's a vet. So she is
Right.
locked in on this poop spot. And again, so the lady gets up from what she's doing, gets bleach and a paper towel, the worker, comes over and she's like, I don't see it. Can you point it out to me? Because again, it's a teeny tiny little spot of poop.
Uh-huh.
And so she's like pointing it out to her. So then this lady, after doing all this, comes and sits down as close as possible to Lily and I. I moved away because I'm like, Lily does not want to be bothered. And she's still talking to her and I'm like, yeah, she's very nervous. And the lady is actively just putting her hand in Lily's face. And Lily's literally like turning and I'm just like, I'm gonna have to lose my mind. What is your problem? And her husband is not talking with her. He's just acting like he might not. He's barely alive the way he's acting. They thankfully call me back, but I was like, "What was that? What do you not have enough? Why are you so bothered by what we're doing? I wasn't gonna let someone step in poop, but you also didn't need to intervene, and you weren't being helpful. It felt like you crossed the line of helpful to just being a nuisance.
Right. They were getting a hold of the manager.
Literally,
Yeah. After, why are you coming over to me?
don't come sit with me. We are not friends. I have not invited you over. I have a scared dog. I am clearly stressed. Like I give Lily a anxiety pill before we go to the vet for like hours before so she's kind of sedated. I feel like I need one taking Lily to the vet. It is stressful. And
Good
and
for
it's
you,
not
good
that
for
I
you.
don't have a dog that I've trained in case anyone listens and is like, "Wow, but she's a puppy mill dog. She has tons of trauma." Just
Yeah.
she just exists in her comfort zone, and if that's the life I can give her, great. And if she has to be a little
Mhm.
stressed out because I take her to the vet when she needs her annual stuff and when she gets hurt,
Mhm.
fine.
Fine. And I will say, I have been in your home, not just us, but like parties.
Mm,
You know, Lily doesn't shit everywhere.
no.
I want people to know
Yeah.
if they're hearing this, Lil, Lily. I feel like it's an occasional thing,
It's
and
in public.
also it's in public.
Yeah.
Public has never been Lily's
No.
biggest thing.
And unless you
So
have a
I
dog who has severe anxiety, you will not understand.
right, but also them saying, "Oh, we have an anxious dog," and then coming back up to her after she's clearly been like, "Hey, if a dog poops because they're too anxious for me to
Be
for them
talking
to come up
at.
to me, I'm not going to go up to them."
I couldn't believe it. And I was like, I need to speak up for Lily, but what do I say? Hey, she doesn't want you to pet her.
Right.
Hey, she's not going to
Right.
bite you, but she's not loving this. Can you go away?
I mean, you can tell them she's unfriendly when she's super
I
anxious. She
mean, I
doesn't have to
should.
know.
And like
Yeah,
the thing is, I try to be respectful and nice to people regardless of who they are. But that's the shit that I'm like, nah, you
absolutely.
don't deserve respect. Go back home. Get out of here.
Yep.
There's probably a
Yep.
reason you're out here and your dog's in the back is because you probably annoy the hell out of the workers, and so they just can't have you in the back.
So at the weigh thing, the does everyone do that?
Yeah. So when they come in, there's just a little scale that you walk in and you plop their dog on it. The only dog that does good
Okay.
for us is Momo, as you. And sometimes we take Momo
Oh,
as a
well,
secondary dog just to be there.
just to be there, because the fact that they were like, "Oh, is this Lily? Can you go do this with her?"
Mm.
Like clearly they know you,
Yeah.
like your vet.
It was so weird.
I like kind of forgot about the whole like poop situation because I can't believe she went up to her after that.
Like, and I'm
I
clearly
can't believe she
stressed.
went up to Lily
I'm
after.
being calm,
Right.
but I'm talking to Lily like it's okay. It's not a big deal. And Lily's trying to
Mhm.
hide. Like,
Right.
it was just. And that's when I'm like, you know what? Every boomer I've met, you fit the stereotype.
It's true. And it's about boundaries. It's about
No boundaries.
respect and no boundaries.
And this vet is very
None.
good about being like, hey, we're going to give her shots. Is it okay if we're in here? Are you okay with needles? Like, they're very much
Mhm.
in the emotional side of it. You know, they have a little thing that's like, if this
Mhm.
little candle's lit up, there is someone pet being put down, so please be
Oh.
quiet. Like, and so they
Mhm.
probably hate it. God. Okay,
There,
sorry.
I think there is a reason why they were out in the waiting room and not in the back.
I think so too.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Okay. Did you have
Well,
any
I
talking
hate
points?
that. I glanced and I really thought you were putting Lily on your lap. And I was excited, but I was like, okay. Um no, this is kind of here's the thing. We could get on a tangent with this one,
No,
but
it's
real
fine.
quick. Do you have actual guilty pleasure shows you watch?
Like some, and I have a like struggle with this, like things you'd be embarrassed to tell people, right? Essentially.
Yes, or things that like people are like you watch that unironically? Because I could share mine as an example if you
Yeah,
would
please
like.
do, because yeah.
I very unironically, I genuinely love Thousand Pound Sisters.
Hmm.
I think their whole family is so fun. Their journey is so interesting. They're getting a little nutty, and their true colors are coming out. This is like season 7. I just watched 2 episodes before we started this. I genuinely love that show, and I also like not just 600 Pound Life, but the Where Are They Now. I love seeing people's
Mm.
journeys, and I like seeing all that, and I very unironically love those shows.
Hmm.
I feel like those are not very popular opinions, or people watch them because of to make fun of people.
Hmm.
And I don't watch them for that. I just love watching people's journeys through things, and I think that the Thousand Pound Sisters family is hilarious and also like they're a problem.
Mm,
They're like problems within. I like the drama. That's my type of like
yeah.
reality TV show is that. So those are my very unironic. They're on my TV all the time. Um, but when people find out, they think that it's ironically I'm watching it, or they're like they don't understand how much of a fan I am of those
Though that's a
shows.
good example. But do you think it's because we grew up with TLC? I feel like you
Yes.
have to have grown up in the era we did watching TLC where there were shows like that because otherwise people don't get it or they think that, yeah, you're just being mean by watching it. But I'm like, that's what we just
Yes.
watched.
I love TLC. I
Yeah.
still watch TLC shows. I buy
Yeah.
Discovery Plus so I can have TLC.
It's so good.
It's so good. And I think it's because we grew up on it. And I think
Yeah.
they either gradually made it like this or they were like, hey, we're throwing some My Strange Addictions at you.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just, so that's the type of entertainment we had.
Yeah. John and Kate
So
plus
I think
eight.
that is it.
I was obsessed.
Yes.
I found it so interesting.
I was too. All of these TLC shows, I still watch them.
Mm-hmm.
But those two are like my specific ones that I watch. I don't know. But I love a TLC show. But people
Yeah.
just make fun of TLC shows.
No.
And I'm like, no, no, no. I'm like a fan.
Yeah.
I
No.
love
It's so.
TLC
It's
shows.
almost. It's like a documentary. It's like a kind of one. Like, love following people's lives.
I agree.
It's just interesting.
Me too.
That's why the Kardashians. I don't
Yes.
think people would have cared as much today about Kardashian shows if it wouldn't have started during that era where we were like, I want to know everything about everyone. Because we didn't have, we
I
didn't
agree.
keep up with people on, like, we didn't have Facebook or TikTok.
Right. And my type of reality TV is not like Big Brother and Traders, and even I watched Real World kind of, but I didn't choose to watch it. My
Mhm.
reality TV is going into people's homes and
Mhm.
watching their actual journeys. And so that's why I also used to like the Kardashians too. Not as a kid, but like after
Mhm.
college I'd started watching it. But it's because it's that type of show where you're
It's
following people
addicting.
in their house. It is. And so I think you're right. It's because it's TLC, that's what
Yeah.
we grew up with, where it was people in their homes, not just like we brought all these people and brought them together. That was like MTV.
Yep.
Is that where Real World
I
started?
never watched that. I think you're
MTV?
right, though.
I didn't
I
really
think that's where it
either.
was.
When we had the older girls in my house, that's what they watched because MTV was what to watch
Yeah.
at
And that
that
had, like,
time.
Jersey Shore and stuff on it, which I did like
Yep.
that. And that I was like, I want to be
Mhm.
them.
S I didn't watch it as much, but that's the type of thing I
Yeah.
would watch.
Oh,
You
yeah.
get the lore of these people, that is exactly
It's
what I
so
would
good.
watch.
And I love the
So,
MTV dating
yeah.
shows. That was where I started reality dating that I loved. Next, so good.
Next.
Oh my gosh.
I liked the ones where they went into their rooms.
Yes, that one, or when they had their parents let them pick it out. Like, oh my gosh. I still remember on
Yes.
one episode of Next, there was a person who said, because they were like, wow, your teeth are really white. And they're like, thank you, it's nail polish. They were putting white nail polish over their teeth.
Oh,
And I
I
think about it
don't remember that.
randomly. I just have that thought where I'm like, I wonder how they're doing. Do you think they're alive?
I wonder I wonder what their teeth look like under that.
And also, do you dry them? Because I'm like, I feel like it would like,
Just gotta
and the taste. Oh my gosh, you ever bite nail
ugh.
polish? Horrible. I can't imagine it being wet in
Yeah.
my mouth.
Mm.
Disgusting. Sorry, I think my computer is updating, so there we go.
Cool.
Okay. So I'm gonna do your Stray Kids lesson.
Please.
Okay. So this member, I'm trying to go through the ones that were the easiest for me to know who they are. The last two are a little bit more tricky, I felt like. Because they're not as prominent to people, or like they're not as like out, I don't know. So this one's Changbin. Now, the name's a little
Okay.
confusing with Bangchan. And also,
Mhm.
every photo, for some reason on Google, he looks like a different guy. He is a rapper. He's one of their primary rappers. This is what he looked like before he beefed up. Not even the same guy.
Oh, I like beefy one though. I'm not gonna lie.
So he's probably the shortest of the group, but he has, yes, he got really into like weightlifting.
BDE.
Oh, yeah, probably. Yes. But yeah,
That's Paul Boy energy.
Yeah, he has more of like, the face shape is like an easy way to identify him, and then just seeing him like, yeah, you'll be able to spot him.
I'm not even into muscles. I enjoy that.
I think it's because they can be built without having that creepy thing that like I feel like American guys get when they get where I don't know what they do, but there's something creepy, whereas their face even changes. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like muscles, but I like that.
But like how why does it want me to upload something? But like how crazy is that? That doesn't even look like the same guy. That was what he looked like when he debuted.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, but also you got a haircut. The different haircut kind of helps.
Yeah. Crazy though.
Yeah. That is a little crazy. Yeah. I love that. That's fun. And he's a rapper. That's fun.
Yeah. So he's very good. I don't know why Hunjin's here. That's not him. So, but that's this boy. We'll learn about this boy next week.
Ooh, that boy's cute.
Yes, he'll be probably easy to spot because of his facial expressions. And then here was who you learned about last week. Here's Han, and this is Changbin.
Changbin. I'm not gonna lie, Felix is still my number 1.
Yeah.
Changbin may be my number 2.
And so I've been trying to send you TikToks where it's people you've learned to just be like, this is them on the left.
You're like,
this
on
is
the
them
left?
on the right.
Is this?
Because seeing them move and stuff. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah.
Oh, do glasses. Oh.
A cool drawing, yeah.
It's super cool.
Hunjin, Changbin.
Yeah.
So I think his Skizu, which is the animal name, the little character,
Cute.
I'm pretty sure his is Pig. Yeah, it's Pig. I don't.
Okay.
They
I
all
just hit my mic.
They all feel kind of mean in a way.
Even Hamster because of his cheeks. I was like, his cheeks aren't big.
The only good ones are like Bangchan's is a wolf, and I was like, okay, so you gave yourself a good one, and then you're just like.
So everyone else actually,
you all get mean stuff. I don't remember what Hunjin's is. His might be Fox. I don't know. I can't remember.
Fox is fun.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But yeah, that was your lesson of the week. You feeling good?
Fun. That's exciting. I am.
I want to get a shirt, I think. You know the shirt you have of Brittany Broski? Okay. So I want to get one like that of Bangchan to wear. I think that'd be fun.
That would be fun. I think I'm stealing Allie's for the concert we have in a couple weeks. I was like, you got 2 of those? I'll steal one. So I love those shirts. They're my favorite.
Okay. So, voting this week landed on the topic of restaurants.
It did.
Yeah.
Which was fun.
It's, in my mind, I envisioned it being like someone being like, this waiter sucks, blah, blah, blah. Which I have to say, going into this, unless you have ever worked in the industry or worked in any type of, shut up. When you're in restaurants, shut up. You do not understand. Now, can service be bad genuinely? 100%.
Absolutely.
Most of the time, though, it's just how restaurants work. And shut up. All right. Well, welcome back to Oops All Opinions.
Yes.
I'm relaxed. This is that one chick. Is that right? I think that's the right direction.
I think so. It swaps from what we see to what they see.
Oh, okay. Spooky.
So that's why I kind of pointed both.
Yeah, no, perfect.
Right.
If they have different opinions than us about today's episode, what should they do?
I think they should argue with themselves. Argue with
Amen.
yourself. Argue with your grandma.
Mm-hmm.
Argue with your neighbor.
Uh-huh. The postal worker.
Argue with the not the postal worker. They're doing the Lord's work. Argue with a
Not that
boomer.
one guy. Not the one guy that was mean to me about my passport and argued and then kept calling people and was like, I'm right. I'm right. And I was like, hey, big dog, I'm just telling you what I see. I'm not trying to fight
That's
with
true.
you.
That's true. By the way, did that ever get
I went to a
figured
different
out?
post office. And even though everything said what I understood and what you understood, they said, no, that's not
Yes.
how that works.
Yeah, no, I hated that. So also the fact that he ended up being right sucked.
I would have never gone back and allowed that to happen.
Okay, it's controversial. The people in the office, those are not who I was meaning. I was meaning the people walking around.
No. Walking around. Yeah. No, there's something about going into the actual post office that I'm like, they're either going to be super friendly or it's going to be the worst experience of my life.
Absolutely. I get nervous going in because I was like, either these are going to be the nicest people I've ever talked to, which has been an experience I've had when I took my passport stuff in. It was the greatest experience. I mean, the greatest experience, Veronica, or blah blah blah.
Whoever.
Like, greatest experience, sure.
Veronica,
But also,
whoever,
like,
our neighbor.
whoever, Veronica, Tamara,
Yeah.
Genevieve,
Right.
like they, you know what I'm like.
Yeah.
It was great to go in, or I'm like, I think they're gonna just kick me out for standing here.
They're going to call the police on me because I didn't have the right
I think
stamp
they're
or
gonna
they
yell
think
at
I'm
me.
shipping batteries. Every time they ask me if I have anything explosive, I'm like, well, I don't know. Maybe I do now. Like, I'm just packing up a card, but now I think it could be batteries. I don't know.
But now I'm like, did that card have something in it that
Did I
don't know
slip a gun in
about?
my package without knowing?
That's what I do. That's what I think of the airport. They're like,
Yes.
when they check your hands, I'm like, have I been
Have I
producing
handled
bombs
a
recently?
gun lately? Have I been touching
Have I
stuff?
held things
Did
recently?
I touch a railing and someone had touched a bomb and now it's on my hands?
Yes. I'm like, did I go to a restaurant this morning and someone else who had built many bombs, I touched the same change that they touched? That's what I think in my head. So I think that's fair. I think that's
That's called OCD, I
correct.
have found lately. That's what that is. That weird paranoia.
Well,
Isn't that
I gotta
hurtful?
go.
My therapist hit me with that and she said, have you ever considered it's OCD? And I was like, that's okay. No.
Well, I haven't considered and actually not going to.
Yeah, because
Gonna
you know that
continue to not
paranoia
consider that.
where you're like, you back over, you hit a speed bump, and you're like, did I just kill someone? And then you leave, and then you think you're like,
Yeah.
I gotta go back because I might have killed someone. Like, those thoughts are just insane.
Yeah, I have left work. I've been like, I have to go home because I think I left my straightener on and I'll blow up the entire. And my boss was like, "Okay, you're freaking out. You can go home."
Or if you see
But I
like
was like,
an accident and you're like, did I cause that? Was that actually me? And I'm just like
"Oh,
fleeing.
was that me?" I sometimes I'm like, "Have I ever left the scene of an accident?" And I'm like,
And not
"I've never
know?
hit anyone."
No, literally, never have. Oh, that's crazy.
I've
Though.
never. But okay, so we'll get to
get there.
restaurants. Y'all
We're
just
doing good.
we'll get there.
We're
Have you
25
ever
minutes in.
been going down? Have you ever been going down the road and then you're like, what if those people crash right now? What
All the time.
happens? What would I do if someone else crashed right now? I'll just be watching two cars going fine.
Mhm.
They're just driving. Nothing crazy's happening. And I'm like, okay, but what if one of them spins out and hits the other car? And then I have to like, I do that all the time.
Do you ever worry about when you're
We don't
driving
have
by
to get into it.
someone? I'm like, what if they have a gun and they just shoot me because I'm passing them?
I used to think that. I used to think that I would make people mad and they would just shoot me in their car.
That's why if anyone ever gets mad at me road rage, I was like, it's not worth fighting with you. You probably have a gun. But like sometimes I'm just passing. I'm like, what if this person's insane next to me and they just pull a gun on me?
Like I turn and they're just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
on the
That's why
TV
I
and
don't like to
podcast.
look at people when I
No.
pass.
The worst is when you look over and someone's looking at you in their car and you're like, pay attention.
Just making eye contact, going 75 down the highway.
Okay. So it's odd, so it should
Okay.
be me.
Yes.
I pulled two stuff. Don't mind that. have to cut stuff. Why is it opening on that screen? That's not even my main screen. Anyways, it's probably fine.
Wow.
Okay. So I pulled 2. And what do you mean you've encountered an error? Well, we're not going to worry about that. Okay. So the first one. Am I the asshole for walking out of a restaurant because my girlfriend ordered spaghetti? How do you feel so far?
Okay, I will say a lot of people's were, am I the asshole for walking out?
I know.
And I didn't click on some. I don't think I have those. For ordering spaghetti, see, the ones I saw were like shellfish or whatever. And I was like, no, probably not. This feels like you might be. Spaghetti?
So, I, 25 male, am dating a woman, 24, named Allie. We moved in together 5 months ago, and I really love her a lot. Allie just doesn't have great table manners. She eats noisily and sloppily. In a restaurant environment, usually this isn't too bad because of the natural ambient sounds. In a quiet room, it's much more noticeable. I don't exactly like it, but usually I can tolerate it. However, when Allie eats pasta, she slurps her noodles so loudly that people from other tables look. It's completely mortifying to hear people murmur about her loud slurping all the time. I know this might be normal in some cultures, but from where I'm from in the US, it looks really uncultured and bothers people who are more sensitive to sound. I've tried to teach her how to use a spoon to spin the pasta into a ball. Nope, she doesn't want to. I've tried to ask her to take smaller bites. Nope. That's how she eats pasta, and that's how she'll always eat pasta. We've been to a local Italian restaurant half a dozen times, and each time but one in basically an empty restaurant. She humiliated me with her loud slurping eating. I know I shouldn't care about what other people think, but I agree with the patrons. It's disgusting. Who are you talking to? You surveying people? Hey, do you find this disgusting?
Hey, do you think this is gross?
People are trying to enjoy a meal. I finally got frustrated one day and told her that I wouldn't eat noodles with her in public anymore. She can eat alone or she can go with friends. I'll happily drive her to this restaurant, but I will not sit down with her. She kind of blew off my message with, "Oh yeah, you're perfect, so I get it. Pop off, girl." And I thought that was that. Last night, Allie really wanted to go to our local Italian place again. I asked her if she would be ordering spaghetti. She rolled her eyes and said she'd get the lasagna. I agreed that was fine, and we went out for the first time in a while. When the waitress came to take our order, Allie completely went back on her promise and ordered spaghetti. I told the waitress I wouldn't be needing anything, stood up, and walked to our car. I relaxed in the car listening to a podcast until Allie came out a while later. She sat down and started giving me the silent treatment. When we got home, she yelled at me about embarrassing her, would not let me say a single word without shrieking at me, and said she's only interested in an apology. I refused, and she went to another room to loudly talk shit about me to herself, intentionally so I could hear. I don't know if I went too far. Allie's a queen.
Talk shit to herself.
Can you
not
imagine?
to a friend. She didn't call. She just went to the room and talked shit to herself.
That's the funniest thing, and maybe we should all implement that. That dumb bitch.
Wow, that was like, okay, would you ever get in trouble and you go to your room and you shut the door and then you go
and
behind the door to your parents?
You bitch.
Yeah.
You're such a bitch.
Bitch. I hate you. Yeah, that's the vibe that gives, but as a 24-year-old.
Amazing.
Which is hilarious. We should really bring that back.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So what are your thoughts?
I think they should break up.
Do you think he's the asshole, though?
I don't. I think that if it's at a point where people are like, and if it's at a point where he's stressed out anytime you go to an Italian restaurant, you just can't go. But also, her saying that she wouldn't get it, and then she did,
funny.
is, okay, here's the thing. If it was my friend, I'd be like, hell yeah,
right,
girl, you get it. But then if he was my friend, I'd be like, boy, dump her.
She should have got the lasagna and then taken those horizontal noodles and just.
But I will say too, I am one that if someone is if I saw someone, if I was on a date and they did that, we'd be done. I would not go out on a second date. If people just like, actually, no, I don't like people like, I'm just a messy eater. You're in your 20s. There's one thing if you just like the end of your tacos fall out, or like, like sometimes that happens, but it's like, if every time you're getting pasta, you're slurping that motherfucker up. And he's like, I tried to teach her the spoon method. She's like, no, that's just how I eat it.
Okay, so I think some of his reaction is a little asshole-ish. Like, leaving her in the restaurant's crazy. I don't believe people are actually turning. I guess for me, though, I know he mentioned the culture thing, but I feel like I don't like the sound of people chomping. Like, I don't like that either. But I only care if they're at the table with me. If they're next to me going, and we're together, that's going to bother me. But if you're at a different table, I'm probably not listening to you unless I get, but like.
Okay. But pretend I'm next to you at a table and it's wet pasta. And I
probably wouldn't notice. I don't know. Well, because also though, like watching a lot of like, different cultures, like it is normal to slurp. And so I guess picking up on that, I guess I would just be like, hell yeah, eat your noodles. Go ahead, girl.
Yeah, I think if I was at like certain places, I wouldn't think about it, but at an Italian place, I might.
I just feel like there's so much
I think that going to the car, but I do think it was a boss move. As soon as she ordered it, he goes, I'm not getting anything. And I don't know about the leaving. I can see how that was like a little crazy. But like as soon as she went back, also him being like, she went back on her word. Break up.
No, they shouldn't be together. At all. I don't know.
We should be called You Should Break Up.
No, 100. I think, yeah, I think every story should just, because we found a way for every story to be, you should probably just not be together.
You should probably not be together.
I don't know. There's so much, like, how quiet's the restaurant? Because I feel like all I hear at restaurant is other loud noises. And people eating, I don't ever feel like I hear other people eating. I hear them talking. I hear their silverware. Mm-hmm. I don't know how quiet the restaurant would have to be that I can hear a girl going, you know what I mean? Yeah. Have you ever heard anyone else eat near you in a loud, busy restaurant?
No. Not eating. No.
I just think like, and everyone's different. He's allowed to not like her slurping, but yeah, break up.
Sure.
I just think it's so funny being like, no, I'm going to get the lasagna. Hey, can I get the spaghetti? So good.
First Gold. All, that is a queen move. I'm not going to lie. That was so good. I think they both did really like bold moves in that moment. She said, actually, fuck that. I'm getting my spaghetti. And he said, I'm not getting anything.
Do you think she got there and was like, I love some spaghetti? And then she said, I got to get the spaghetti because I'm on her team with that. Love a good spaghetti.
I love spaghetti. And I'm saying all of this as a pasta lover. I love spaghetti. But no, there's no way that she forgot. He clearly is stressed out about it anytime they talk about pasta.
At that point, if I wanted to stay with her, I would be like, let's just never go to Italian food.
Yeah, we can never go to this place then. And that's okay.
But also, if I'm making compromises, break up.
Break up. If we have to not go to a restaurant because I'm afraid you're going to order a dish, we can't be together.
And if my boyfriend said, you can't get spaghetti because I hate how you eat it, I don't want to be with that person.
No, she needs someone who will love. She needs Terry Crews from White Chicks is who she needs.
Yeah. No, because food stuff can be really gross. I completely appreciate that. That one's so funny.
Oh my god, that is so funny.
God, and then
he has to treat it like he's allergic.
Or just cussing him out behind a closed door in your own home.
We have to bring that back. I thought he was gonna say he was bitching about him like to her friends or like no, to herself. I love that.
Oh my
That should
god.
happen more often.
It's so good. Okay.
Okay. I also have two.
Okay.
Okay. It looked long. I got scared. Am I the asshole for telling my friend I don't like the restaurant she wants to celebrate her birthday at?
Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah, actually, yeah.
Actually, yeah. I will say too, there were a lot that were like, am I the asshole for telling people that I want to go to a certain restaurant on my birthday? No.
No, you're allowed to pick that.
Like all of those were gonna be no. What are you talking about? But this one I was like, ah. Okay. For the past few weeks, a friend, 28 female Lisa, of mine, 25 female, really tried to get somebody from my friend group to go to a restaurant in the city we live in with her. It's a vegan place, and that basically, like those cheap Chinese restaurants, has a very long menu that is categorized by the type of meat in the dish. All the meats are, of course, fake, though. My issue isn't that it's a vegan place, I'm vegetarian myself. I just find the heavy emphasis on replacement products a bit odd. So when Lisa asked me if I wanted to go to the restaurant and I checked out the menu, I told her that I wasn't the fan of a concept, but I'd love to go to another place if she'd like. Apparently, she asked the other people in my friend group as well and got similar responses. Since you read the title, you know what's coming. We, Lisa, three more friends and I, discussed what she was planning to do for her birthday, and Lisa said she wanted to go to a restaurant and out for drinks afterwards. When asked which restaurant specifically, she revealed she wanted to go to the revealed is crazy. She revealed she wanted to go to the vegan place she had talked about previously. When she said that, I guess all of us must have looked a bit startled, so she asked if anything was wrong. I tried to brush it off first, but she asked again, so I told her I was a bit surprised that she chose a restaurant that she knew all of us really weren't a fan of, and my other friends agreed. She replied that it was her birthday, so she could choose whatever she wanted, and that basically concluded our conversation about the topic. She was very silent the rest of the day, and has kind of been cold ever since. In my mind, it's a valid point to bring up. At least I personally wouldn't choose a restaurant that I know my friends aren't going to like. And it's also not like we're refusing to go there. If she decides to go through with it, we'll come and not complain. It is, of course, true, though, that it's her birthday and therefore her choice of restaurant. So maybe I should have continued denying that something is wrong. So am I the asshole for telling her truthfully?
Yeah. Because what a weird stance to take right then and there. I don't like that they're trying to replace have an emphasis on meat replacement. What do you think a vegan restaurant is, baby doll?
Exactly. To me, there are some vegan places where it's like, we're vegan specific food, like vegan Thai food, or vegan, like very
Yeah.
specific. This one is one you can go to and it's everything. I want to go there.
No,
I'm not vegan.
Well,
I'm not
and I think
vegetarian.
people get so hung up on the idea of, well, if you're vegan, why do you want something that's vegan bacon? Why not just eat the real? You can't talk to that. That's just stupid. And this feels like a similar stupid
Yeah.
stance that the friend took. And also, if I was this girl, I'd break up with your friends. Actually,
Break up with your friends.
get rid of them.
Yeah, I will say for the past year have so you know this. You're not getting any new information. I found out I was diabetic about this time last year. That doesn't mean I'm stopping anything that like has artificial sugar in it. But I have people that come up to me when I'm like, this hey, Pepsi, you want to sponsor this? Wild cherry Pepsi zero sugar is my favorite drink now. And I have people go, I can't do the aspartame. I can't do the fake sugars. And I'm like, hey, how about you fuck off?
Didn't ask.
I didn't ask. Told you this was my favorite drink. I can have it. The same with the fake like chocolate, sugar-free chocolate. People are like, I can't do the stevia. I'm like, I didn't tell you you had to.
Also, well, I guess good thing you're not diabetic and you have no other option.
Well, I guess good thing you're not diabetic and you can eat whatever you want. Yeah. So this gave me that same vibe of them being like, but if it's, I don't like the processed meat or the fake meat. And I was like, that's why it's made.
Yeah.
There's a reason why these things are made now.
No.
That's what that reminded me of. Different thing, but
No, I agree. I think that's weird behavior. And also the friend being like, well, I feel like I'm justified. Well, yeah, of course you do. It's your argument that you're making, stupid. You an idiot?
yeah. Do you think that people put these things on here and really think that people are going to say, no, you're good?
And also, how do you not, like, okay, so if it was my birthday, and I guess for me, like, going into it, and I was like, I know that you, like, if I was like, I want to go to Baskin Robbins, and like, I know you would never say anything. I would probably make a different choice, but I'm just like, you wouldn't push back on it. You'd be like, hey, I know they got one sugar-free option. I'll get that. Or like,
yep.
Also, if I go to a restaurant that someone invites me to that I don't really like the food, just have like I don't know, I'm cussing so much time, but have like do something
today
small.
I'm like, yes,
just
get fries.
Go.
You don't
can
have
eat
to
later.
get the fake. Literally, eat before you go. Get some French fries or some sweet potato fries at this place. I don't know what they have, obviously, but you don't have to get the fake meat.
The whole point is you're going to celebrate your friend's birthday, and story. So like,
and you're being weird,
big weird.
If you bring it up, and also I don't care if the rest of the group felt the same way. This is the situation. Have you ever seen Bridesmaids?
Mm-hmm.
They go to that restaurant she wanted to go to, and then everyone shits their pants.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be shitting my pants. Like, I'm down. You want to go a random place? I'm down.
And also, I would be so mad if I was the friend and I was like, yeah, I do think I want to try this place. I'm really excited. And everyone's like, oh, gasp, what? Oh. I'd be pissed. I'd be like, well, then don't come. Actually, none of you are invited. I'm going to go somewhere else.
I'm going to go alone. And if you guys show up, I'm actually going to be mad.
Yeah. No, they suck as
You're
friends.
You're going to mess with the vibe.
OP, go hang out with Allie. She's so fun. You guys can talk shit behind the door.
Slurp that fake. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I hated those people. They absolutely were the asshole also.
Okay, perfect.
You could bring up literally anywhere and be like, hey, for my birthday, I'd like to go. I can't even think of something I wouldn't do.
Yeah, because I can find something anywhere. Yeah. And I'm willing to try something at any restaurant. Literally.
Yeah. Okay, well, those people suck.
Were they voted the asshole?
It would be different.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It would be different if everyone was vegan except the birthday girl.
Mm-hmm.
The birthday girl goes to vegan places for them, and then this time she was like, I want to go to a barbecue place.
Right.
And then the others like can't have it, but it's not that situation.
No, and the thing is, give your feedback if she says, hey, is that cool with everyone?
Yeah.
But she didn't. So shut up.
So shut up.
Today's lesson, shut up.
Shut up. Wait till you get home and you shut your door and then you complain to yourself.
And you can eat whatever you want.
That is what we mean.
Mm-hmm.
When we say argue with yourself, that's what we mean.
Yep.
Go behind the door.
Go to your room.
Go to your room. Go to your room.
Go talk about us behind the door. So were they overall the asshole?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
The last one I did about the slurper, he was voted not the asshole, by the way. I didn't clarify. I just gave my opinion. But again, break up.
You said, I disagree, so I'm not telling you.
I said, I'm not going to share opinions that don't agree with me. No, I don't think he's fully an asshole. I'm just kind of like, some of his behavior, I'm like, you don't like the girl, just break up with her. Like, you guys have no longevity here, so.
No, and that's okay.
Yeah, no, it's okay. All right. Am I the asshole for refusing to leave a restaurant?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. I, 35 female, and my husband, 33 male, went to a Mexican restaurant that we hadn't tried in our city. It's important to mention my husband is Mexican and I am white, and he has a higher standard for Mexican food than I do. We ordered our meals, and it was clear that the waitstaff was new and the restaurant was pretty Americanized, but otherwise, no issue placing an order and getting drinks. Then the food took a long time, over 30 minutes, and he started to get mad. We tried the chips and salsa to tie us over, but the salsa tasted sour. We let the waitress know it had gone bad, but she brought us another from the same batch, so we left it. Once our food arrived, mine was decent, but his was cold. So we sent it back. Then when it came out and it was still room temperature, he gets up and demands we leave. Starts freaking out, pacing, and doesn't want to stay. I offer some of mine, and he refuses to eat it. He ended up sitting down, and they reheated the food, but was pissed at me for not supporting his decision to leave, saying it was an insult to give these people our money. Am I the asshole for not supporting my husband here? In my life, I have never left a restaurant. You just don't go back if it's bad, in my opinion, and we already communicated our concerns to the waitstaff, and they took the feedback and fixed it. The food was edible, and I think I just find the idea of walking out overly dramatic. We do have edits and questions that she responded to, but so far, what do you think?
I don't think she's the asshole.
Okay. So, a couple notes before I add her edit where she says what they voted for her. Couple notes, or for questions or whatever. The salsa was bottled salsa that came to the table as a side, likely just stored incorrectly, probably why I was less reactive since it wasn't necessarily obvious to servers or kitchen it was sour. Number 2, I didn't consider asking for a manager. Kitchen was very small, and the only server said it was her 3rd day. Maybe there was someone in the back, but didn't ask. 3, I totally am a people pleaser. Someone could push me, and I would probably apologize for being in the way and assume the best. My husband is hot-blooded, so we usually balance each other out, but I think I underreacted to try to calm him down.
I don't like anyone would do what he did. So I also agree that if you don't like it, you don't go back.
Yeah.
You can write a review afterwards.
So,
but
no, keep going.
It's not that girl or that server who has been there for 3 days, not their fault. You're going to send that person home feeling bad. I don't even care if this isn't even like a people pleaser. I'm kind of like becoming an ex people pleaser at this point. There is no reason to make that person feel bad and go home knowing that someone yelled at them that day.
So, her edit. Thanks for the feedback.
Please.
Understood that I'm the asshole. I already apologized to him after. Should have asked for his meal to be comped at least. When I read the title, I was like, asshole for sure. She's probably being a jerk. Yeah. No way.
No way. Not at all. Now, I can see where, sure, get the meal comped, I guess, but I don't want to pay for the food if it was
right, but I'm not going to get up and leave and him pacing around.
No, he had terrible behavior. I don't care. I don't care if you're used to something better. Don't go to the new Americanized place.
Yep.
You know, if you're going to some place for the first time, anytime I walk into a place for the first time, I expect okay.
Yeah.
I expect mediocre and hope for the best. His actions, I would want him to go apologize to them. I would not apologize to him. That behavior is how in their 30s. Get out of here. You know that server was just like, I call them kids, 20, 21 and younger. Young 20s, teenager. That's a kid, and you're going to ruin their work experience by doing that.
The appropriate thing that could have been done is get the food. It's not right. The salsa, they need to know about that. The server brings over your check. You say, thank you. Can you go grab your manager for me, please? Sure. They go get the manager, and then you say, hey, here's what happened tonight. The salsa, I'm worried about being dangerous. It's very sour. It's clearly bad. It needs to be thrown out. Also, our food was very cold. It did not satisfy. Can you please comp this because we didn't eat our food. Or right. He didn't.
At least his.
Yeah.
Sure. At least his. She said hers was fine.
Yeah.
So at least that one. But I agree. The salsa thing is necessary.
Yep. 100%.
To tell them.
So a comment was, "You're the asshole. Since there were so many problems that all had to do with the food quality, you should have left. As it was, you totally disregarded the fact that your husband's food was subpar at best. And this also was a danger of causing foodborne illness." And OP said, "Sure, that's fair, thanks." What?
I'm going to be honest. I don't give... Order something else. I don't give a fuck. If my part... Like, you can love someone and also not care if their food is subpar.
The
Sorry,
comments
I
are
ordered
insane.
something that was better.
"You're the asshole. Why stay and eat it? The salsa could have given you food poisoning." Good indicator he was correct to be afraid of his meal. "You put him at risk of food poisoning. It wasn't him being picky or less than stellar service. It wasn't a racial issue or a type of food thing. It was safe versus potentially unsafe." And she said, "Sure, fair take."
First of all, she said fair take?
Yep.
I don't... Just because... And she said that the salsa was something that was in a jar they probably didn't know, is what she said. The servers. That is not their fault. But also, maybe if they're doing weird... Okay, I don't know. Maybe if they're doing interesting things in this place, maybe they put something weird in their salsa.
Yeah.
Maybe they have weird salsa.
Also, I do want to point out, he kind of sounds like an asshole because 30 minutes for food to arrive is... I just feel like if I go to a restaurant to eat, I'm going to be there an hour and a half. To go to eat dinner, that's my expectation.
Yes. Well, and also, you didn't tell them about the salsa when it came out again. You just stopped eating it.
Yeah.
The whole point about, like, going to certain restaurants is you bring me an appetizer, a free one, and I'm going to be fine with however long that lasts. And I think 30 minutes is nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, "Yeah, you're right, I should have left," and like, blah. No, your husband sounds like a big baby.
If you're a people pleaser and that's who you're married to, you guys don't compliment each other.
No.
That's not what that is.
No, that's gonna teeter into abuse.
A little bit.
Because, like,
you have dealt with that so long that you think that's a compliment to who you are.
Yep. Does he punch holes in the walls? Because that's such a weird reaction.
Right.
He has anger issues.
Absolutely. Oh, I hate... All of these people should break up so far. This is the breakup episode.
Honestly, also go find Allie. You can eat subpar Americanized Mexican food. She can slurp her pasta.
Exactly.
And the third vegan girl can go.
All of these people need to break up with their significant others and meet each other and just go have a fun time out at a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
That is whatever they choose.
Insane. I just couldn't believe that one because, like, when I read it, obviously I was like, yeah, what is the matter with you? But so, all right, what do you got for us, friend?
I have 2 more. Okay. If you want to choose.
Okay.
Would I be the asshole for making my parents' restaurant fail? Or am I the asshole for taking my older brother to a restaurant instead of taking him to the wedding?
Okay, I have actually heard the second one. So I know that one.
Okay.
So let's do the first one.
Okay, would I be the asshole my restaurant? So, bear with me as English is not my main language, and also sorry for formatting, I'm on phone. I don't care about your formatting, my guy. So, I, 22 male, graduated as a software engineer in August and started my first job. Not much to say here. Near home, pay is good, just a bit, not enough to live alone. Mm-hmm. Good hours, classic 9 to... This says 18, which would be military time, so probably 9 to... 6. I don't know the difference.
It just takes anything, it's past 12. So 18 is just 12 plus 6. So they're just adding to 12 o'clock. Yep.
9 to 6. For got it. Okay. I like the place. I can't really complain about that. The problem is with my parents. They own a restaurant, and since graduation, I've basically been forced to help there. Now, in my free time, I used to help with no problems, as they paid for college and everything. But now it's like I have literally no choice. I exit from work and start working again, every single
Mm.
day. In these months, I lost touch with friends, girlfriend, I stopped going to the gym, etc. Basically, I can't do anything but work, work, and work. Every time I tried to ask for more free time or to go do something, I was met with complaints and a guilt trip. They don't really say no, but for days they go like, "What will we do? We can't find people. Nobody wants to work," and goes on forever. I know this is a bunch of crap, and simply paying their waiters more and not being insufferable would do the job. I endured anyway, thinking it will end. We got to the point we don't even talk anymore, outside the bare minimum needed for work. Last week, I got a huge offer at my job, basically doubling my pay, but I need to go to work in another city. Of course, with the pay bump, it's not a problem, and I love the place, so I was really happy. It's been a week. Oh, sorry. It's been a week, and every day I heard, "We now need to close to sell everything," or some variation of that. I haven't accepted the position yet, and here I ask if I would be the asshole in doing that and maybe force my parents to close and lose their job. I will say we got a lot of edits here, but
Get the hell away from your parents. Holy shit.
break up with your parents.
Break up with your parents. Get away from them. Like,
Get away
if
from them.
you leaving causes their restaurant to fail, well, then it's not bound to be successful anyway.
No, it's not. Because they don't pay you.
No.
The only reason they're keeping it up is for your free labor.
No. Get away from your
Okay.
parents.
We do have edits. Yeah. Actually, and also, like, he's like, I like this job and, like, the opportunity to get to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, let's pay. You get to go somewhere else. You like what you do.
Yeah.
With that job. But also, I do remember being young and being afraid to leave a job, even if my parents had nothing to do with it. I was afraid to leave, like, my first job and let them down and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's not your responsibility.
Nope.
So, okay, so I have a few edits. Edit, I just returned home from the restaurant, 1 a.m. in my time zone, and I just want to thank you all. I'll try to read and answer as to much comments as possible. I didn't imagine this barely readable text was going to blow up so much, and to be honest, I just needed to vent. Your kind words really made my night, and I'm truly grateful. This Monday, I'll accept the offer and keep you updated, but the plan was to move next week and start at the new position, and then he gives a date, but it's been so long.
Mm-hmm.
Edit 2. I saw this a lot, so I'll explain the situation a bit more. I don't need the explanation. Me personally, Chick does not need an explanation. You need to give me nothing, OP, but I will read it anyway. My parents opened the restaurant 8 years ago. They had already had experience with other businesses, both as employees and their own. A spot opened for this nice place, and they took it with the clear intention to help me go through college, basically debt-free, and for them to retire without problems. They are hard workers, can't deny that, and what they did is no small feat, and I'm very grateful for that. The place is not super big, can work with about 6 people without issues, and there's the work for 6 people, I can assure you that. For now, we are only 4, me, my parents, and another employee. The problem is they are basically horrible to work with. In this 8 years, I've seen a lot of people, and even we live in a big city, sooner or later news comes around. The pay is minimum wage or barely above, and the amount of abuse was the word he was looking for. Abuse someone has to go through is not worth it. Screaming, passive-aggressive comments, mobbing, I don't know what that is. There were people quitting after basically a month or two. Being at school first and college later, I didn't really notice that. I can believe it's hard for them to find workers after all these years of building a bad reputation. Basically, it's a wonderful place to eat, but do not work here at any cost. I also tried to make them aware of this, to no avail, sadly. I got back only resentment and endless arguments. Hope this clears a bit. I didn't need that information, but I don't care if their business goes under.
Here's what I say in case someone needs to hear this. Because I know he's like, well, they pay, they work to put me through college. Your parents having you, they owe you everything. They are to take care of you. They are supposed to do anything to help you be successful in life. You do not owe your parents a damn thing. You are the child. Don't treat your parents badly. Obviously, if you there's situation, but I'm like, you don't owe your parents just because they did something to parent you.
Nope.
So get away from them.
And if they expected you to come home and work for them, if that was if they did it with that expectation, then that's on them.
Yep. Yeah.
If they paid for your college, that was their intent behind this whole thing.
What did they expect to happen?
That's
you go to
them.
college, get this degree, and then you just go back and work in the restaurant with them when your degree has nothing to do with that?
You never leave?
You didn't go to culinary school.
Right.
That's on them, for sure.
Absolutely. And also, no parent should be not no parent. These parents, you can't do that.
No.
You can't, because that's bribing and blackmailing your kids into coming back and being with you when you're clearly terrible.
The thing, and that's what it always makes me think of when we've talked to people about I don't know if I want children. Well, who's going to take care of you when you're old? I don't know. A nurse? My children, that's not the expectation. You don't have kids to take care of you one day. You have kids because you want kids and you want to raise good people.
Yes.
I hate that mentality. Your kids don't owe you anything.
I do too. I agree. Real quick. I have someone who recently said that they know someone who is planning a wedding. It's not you.
You're bad mouthing me to my face.
And the bride's parents are just kind of like ours would be. We'll help you if you need help. If you need opinions, they'll give them to you.
Yeah.
But the groom's parents, they originally wanted 65 people, I think. Originally, the couple did. The groom's parents keep adding people, and they're trying to get it to 100 people. And the couple's like, who's paying for this? We're paying for this.
Mm-hmm.
And the parents are so involved in this wedding and so involved in the lives and are really trying to be in there. And that's what these parents kind of remind me of.
Yep.
Is they're too invested in something that has nothing to do with them anymore.
Agreed.
And expect things out of this has nothing to do with them. You should not be that invested. Be invested in your heart. Don't be invested with your business.
I'm happy for OP.
I am too. I'm so happy. This is a situation where I'm okay, I get that you just went on Reddit and put it on and wanted opinions.
Yeah.
I know I complain about that pretty often, but not complain, but I'm just why are people doing this? But now I see it.
No, 100%.
I'm okay. Yeah.
Well, that's the episode.
That was the episode.
Well, we hope you liked it. That was the restaurants episode of Oops All Opinions. Take it away.
And also episode 11, which is exciting.
Yes.
We're past 10. We're in the double digits. You know what I mean?
We are. Mm-hmm. We're crushing it.
So, crushing it. So anyway, thank you for watching and listening. If you just listen, also shout out to you. I am that one chick. That is Relax. And again, if you have opinions on our opinions, what should they do with them?
Go sit in your room and talk badly about us out loud so we can hear it.
Yes.
But keep it to yourself. Argue with yourself.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.